We build customized training solutions around that. So the first 2 months, it's absorption. The second 2 months is we put them out there. So we set them up on our telesales system of Oz, and we're able to track their calls. So it's really a 360-degree approach to demand gen, lead gen, and creating top of the funnel new business opportunities. Those are what I would call, best practices.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Keith Mintzer. He's the managing partner at TSRM Group. Keith, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kelsey. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you. So Keith, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I would just say I'm a quintessential sports fan. That's if you describe me, it's what I live for. Watching my children play sports, watching professional sports, and depending on day and time, maybe participating a little bit here and there. So I love to compete. We've created a competitive culture here at TSRM, and I think if you would ask me, as the differentiator is about our culture, it's probably a little bit of a throwback with 2023 technology behind us.
That's interesting. So that competitive nature within you've helped to build at TSRM Group. So tell me more about TSRM Group.
TSRM Group provides a variety of what I would characterize as top of the funnel resources to IT companies, which includes everything from developing demand generation campaigns to lead nurturing, integrating digital technology with telesales, and creating new business opportunities for our clients. In addition to that, we have our Fast Start program, which we're very excited about, that we have just rolled out. And that's where we're recruiting entry-level sales talent from 100 universities across the U.S. And we're placing these young up-and-coming salespeople with our clients. So those companies that are looking to build a sales team from the ground up, we really provide everything that you need, from the salespeople to sales management, sales training, and then generating the leads that we all need in order to close business.
Wow. So it sounds like you're able to kind of help from the ground up, not only scaling companies with TSRM, but also really supplementing the work that you've been able to do scaling TSRM Group with Fast Start.
Correct. And Fast Start really fuels the funnel because you need the people to be out there proactively generating business. What I've noticed over the last 10 to 15 years is that we've hidden behind the digital wall, so to speak. Instead of engaging directly with people, we tend to communicate social media, email, but very little or less live interaction with people. I greatly believe that business is done between people, not just websites. So what we're able to do is take some of the great services that we provide on the digital side, and again, make it engaging so people could actually take that and speak to other people in a telesales environment, so to speak.
So with Fast Start, talk to me about the structure of the program. Is it a 3-month, a 6-month program? Talk to me a little bit more about the structure.
Yeah, the Fast Start program is for 6 months, and essentially we manage the candidate's schedule for our clients for the first 6 months. So that means making note of, training time, working with different sales mentors, being trained by the client, being trained by our team. The first 2 months of the program is what we call the absorption stage, and that's where we spend a lot of time training people. They're in a variety of different classes around the cloud technology, security, storage, disaster recovery, just to name a few. And we build customized training solutions around that. So the first
Mhm.
2 months, it's absorption. The
Mhm.
second 2 months is we put them out there. So we
Mhm.
set them up on our telesales system of Oz, and we're able to track their calls. So this way, if you can't measure it, you can't
Mhm.
manage it, as the saying goes. So
Yeah.
what we're able to do with our tools is really track what the candidate's performance looks like on the phone. We also track their digital interactions as well with
Mhm.
tools like LinkedIn Sales Navigator
Mhm.
and other, the resources like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it sounds like, Fast Start is a great way to supplement the team that you're building within TSRM Group. Talk to me a little bit about some of the challenges that when, your clients start working with TSM Group, what's their biggest challenge? Is it, lead gen? Is it staffing? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Really all of the above.
Yeah.
Um, on the staffing side, the fact is that over 55% of folks over the age of 50 are now retired. And each year there has been a swell of increments of baby boomers who are now retiring.
Mhm.
There's a new generation that needs to come on board to replace the baby boomers that are going into retirement mode.
Mhm.
Why? To manage accounts that are critical to our clients' well-being and growth, as well as generating new business as well. Um,
Mhm.
Many of the clients that we do have base account reps that do little hunting and mostly farming. So
Mhm.
we're able to supplement that by, providing training resources and making them an active part of our client sales teams, again, within a 6-month period.
Yeah. Do you think it's that coupled with Fast Start, which is what really differentiates you from your competition?
I think that there are many competitors out there that we engage with or we encounter. But I think what makes us unique is it's the sort of end-to-end solution that we do provide. And I don't know many companies that are providing the telesales, digital marketing, social outreach, and then recruiting salespeople to
Mhm.
engage in using the resources that we've provided. So it's really a 360-degree approach to demand gen, lead gen, and creating top of the funnel new business opportunities.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So, kind of talking about your clients in this full service support that you're able to provide, do you see trends in, different companies, different size companies that work with TSRM?
What we're proud of is that we have clients that are on the smaller side, and let me define smaller, to be an IT startup that has just been funded, has received their, still in pre-revenue, and they need to build out a sales team. They need to develop a digital marketing strategy. And before they could build and hire all of their own resources, we could help them recruit the salespeople, the
Mhm.
marketing people, train them up. Okay, so that's the startup.
Yeah.
But we also work with what I would call mid-market companies from 50 million to a half a billion in revenue
Hmm.
to very large enterprise IT companies who are also our clients.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's really a full range from startup to large enterprise clients.
Yeah. And I imagine too, as you've been able to help these, smaller size companies up to enterprise, you've been able to help them scale. And I'm sure, that you've seen growth within TSRM as, managing partner. Talk to me about what the growth has looked like within TSRM Group.
The last 2 years, really in the post-COVID years, we've been booming. And I think why that is because I think we, for good or for bad in some ways, we were more prepared for 2020, 2021, just because we've been virtual for many years.
Hmm.
And, again, we have a team spread across the US working from home, callers working from home. But we also have folks in Western Europe and Central America as well.
Hmm.
And so that has kind of spurred some of the growth because our competitors were scrambling around in 2020 to provide cohesive services. We were able to do that right through the COVID period. And that's given us a real good platform.
Yeah. Yeah. And circling back to your clients, it sounds like, you really made a great point about the full service and the full scope of, the services that TSRM Group is able to provide, and support, your clients with. When someone's getting started working with TSRM Group, is there like an assessment or anything like that? Talk to me about the onboarding process and, how you determine what are the best needs, for the company.
That's a good question. And each client has a different set of needs. So we don't take a cookie cut approach to what we do. It's really a customized approach using our best practices that we've developed over the period of years that we've been in business. And we started back in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been around about 7 or 8 years, going on 8 years now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What would you say one of the biggest misconceptions, either about telesales, about digital marketing, lead gen? Is there a common misconception that you hear, maybe it's, everything can be cookie cutter or something like that? Like, is there a common misconception that you often hear about the industry?
Yeah, because our industry is driven by our friends on the engineering side, technical people, some of them as brilliant as they are, and we work with some really smart folk, very bright people, but a little bit myopic when it comes to the sales and marketing side of things. Okay, there's not like baking a cake and it's going to work. You're going to bake that cake with the same ingredients every time. So when we engage with a new client, Kelsey, we look at a few things. Number one, what are their unique differentiators from a technology standpoint? Are there vertical markets or company size considerations that we need to look at when we're building a plan for our client? And so those are what I would call, best practices. And so, again, we look at what the company is, what their DNA is, what their problems they're trying to solve. And then we come up with a solution to go out and garner new business for them based upon some of those variables.
And why do you think it's so important that you take that approach?
Well, we're in a highly competitive, our clients are in a highly competitive space, and every day the space becomes more competitive with new startups, evolving technologies. And when I mean things change, they change on a daily basis. Unlike some of the other industries, technology is probably one of the most dynamic, if not the most dynamic, market that you could be in. So marketing firms and agencies like TSRM Group need to, number one, stay on top of those changes and understand how we can make that extensible or communicate those value, whatever the value add might be for the increments of new technology to the marketplace.
That's really interesting. So, Keith, as you and I start to wrap up this conversation, where would be the best place for people to go to learn more about TSRM Group? Say they want to start the conversation, where would they go?
A few places. Go to our website, tsrmgroup.com. And there you can get our contact information or reach out to me directly, kmintzer@tsrmgroup.com.
Fantastic. Awesome. So like I said, Keith, as we wrap up this conversation, is there anything that you want to leave our listeners with, either about telesales, digital marketing, the tech industry, anything you want to leave our listeners with?
If you're looking for help with your funnel, new leads, new business opportunities, come to TSRM.
Short and simple. Awesome. Well, Keith, this has been a great conversation. I appreciate you breaking down, Fast Start, that program. I think that, is a fantastic way for entry-level students, entry-level adults to kind of get their feet in the water, learn from the best, and learn how, to work on sales enablement and lead gen. I appreciate you breaking down TSRM Group and everything, all the service offerings that, aren't cookie cutter, that are, certainly developed and, modified to fit the best needs of your clients. I think this has been a great conversation, and I appreciate you being on Business Ninjas today.
Well, thank you, Kelsey. It's been our pleasure.
Yeah, great to have you.